So Anna, you don't just bring chocolate into work for the excuse to have a snack. You're actually doing a series now on cocoa production. What's it about?
Yes, the series looks at the chocolate industry, the global chocolate industry, but from the perspective of Africa, specifically West Africa, the countries of Ghana and Ivory Coast that produce around 60% of the world's cocoa. And we're going to look at how they're trying to grab a bigger slice of the chocolate pie, so to speak, because the chocolate industry is worth $120 billion a year, and West Africa, they're only able to get about 5% of the share.
And the first story in the series, what's the subject there exactly?
The environment. To cultivate cocoa, oftentimes they need to clear the forests, and that is a problem not just for Ghana and Ivory Coast, but also for the world in terms of carbon emissions. So now these countries are under pressure from Europe to kind of reduce deforestation, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on farmers in these countries to guarantee that the cocoa that they produce does not result in the destruction of the forests. And now the only way they can do that is to be able to link cocoa beans to a specific farm where they were produced in. So by providing more transparency. And this is going to be a big, big challenge.
And we know this also from a previous report you did on child labor in the chocolate industry. And as you said, it was just so hard to actually figure out where these beans had come from, how they'd been harvested.
Most of this task has been left to individual companies, like Nestle, for example, who have their own supply chains and they try to track their own supply chains. What we don't have is a country level database, which is what Ghana is trying to build from scratch. So they're trying to get information on all the 1.5 million cocoa farmers in the country. Where do they live? Where do they grow cocoa? How many children are there in the household? So they're trying to collect this information so that they can guarantee that the cocoa that they export does not involve child labor or involve clearing of forests.